Right. Looks like it did work, Doc. So we in here. Hey, happy
Okay.
Thursday, everyone. Hey, Doc, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. I want to make sure it ain't no delay. You don't hear no delay anything on the mic or anything, do you?
I don't think so. Do you hear a delay? Delay,
No,
delay.
no, we good. No, we be having those things happen sometime. I just wanted to check in there. But guess what? If y'all can't tell by my face, I am
Uh-oh.
excited. I am excited. We got a good show for you. Those, y'all always coming last minute. Y'all don't be reading y'all don't read all the instructions on anything, know how. So I know y'all don't know. We have guests today on this. I would say, Doc, you'd agree it's probably a hot button topic. This would be a good topic to place that title on, a hot button topic, right? Would you
I
say?
like emotionally charged.
Emotionally charged, always coming through with the
I like
one up. I
emotionally.
like it. Emotionally charged topic. I would definitely say this is one of them. But nevertheless, I'm excited to get into it, especially because of our guest. And then Doc, always, man, whenever we get together and have conversations, I leave better than I came. So I'm always excited
Okay.
about that. So we're going to get into it as we always do. Welcome to Perspective, and what we're about can be found right there in the name, perspective. This is a safe place, a safe tree, if you will, for open discussion about different topics and whatnot. And basically, it's a place where we can share open ideas, different lived experiences, different opinions, different perspectives, points of views on anything and everything. We want really believe that once we have those discussions, just because things don't align when you're having a discussion, it doesn't mean that you're right, they're right, and you're wrong. It simply means that they're different. Your points of views or ideas are different. And whenever we discuss our differences, that actually brings us closer together. It can provide a little bit more clarity, and that strengthens the community. And that's what we aim to do here on Perspective. So, with that being said, I am Eric Butler, aka The Intellect, aka Cullinan 8, because I'm the biggest diamond ever found on land. I'm 3,000 plus carats, y'all. AKA the Atlantic, because I'm cold, deep, and choppy. It ain't nothing nobody can do about it. I am a father, grandfather, a man, and I've been in the talent acquisition industry, so corporate recruiting for those laymen out there. And I've been doing that for about 18 years. It has lent me the opportunity to help people consult individuals, especially in career aspect, and kind of leaned into just some regular consulting and advising in other areas. It led me to be in the community through a nonprofit called the Empower Series. It's a financial literacy nonprofit. Definitely go out on the airways and byways and look that up. Um, Feedback. It's a great organization, and then now that has led me to what I would say a divine appointment in lieu of our topic and subject to sit here with my illustrious co-host on Perspective and on the BS3 network. So with that being said, I'm going to hand the mic over and let my unmatched co-host introduce themselves.
You better say unmatched. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We are super excited that you are here because you could be anywhere. My name is Latoya,
Anyway.
aka Chef Jeff's wife, aka them
Mm,
kids' mama, and they bad.
mm.
Um, Side note, Chef Jeff has a show on the BS3 network. His show is called This Dope Cooking Show. It comes on Tuesdays at 5:30. Yes. So check that out. It's gonna make you hungry. But back to me. I'm a licensed
Yes.
professional counselor. I'm an author. If you want to learn more about me, you can visit latoyathetherapist.com. All of my stuff is there. Okay, before we introduce our guest, because I'm so excited, can we just be like, this is a big moment because without this guy, there would be no perspective. He had the foresight and what you call it, the divine appointment. I like that. The
Yeah.
divine
Yeah.
appointment to
Yeah.
put this together because perspective is popping.
It is. It absolutely is. More
Absolutely.
more than they know. The more that they want to admit, not them, but those, we talk
The
about
people.
them, those out there. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm excited about it. Doc, I want you what I do. Well, no, we'll bring them on and then we'll do the disclaimer. I think because I would
I'll do
definitely
it.
like
I'll
to.
do it real quick.
Okay, there
I'll do
you
it real
go.
quick. Okay, guys, here's our weekly disclaimer. I am a therapist, not your therapist, unless we have paperwork and a payment plan in place. Eric and I and our esteemed guests will be speaking from our lived experiences, our education, our knowledge base. We are not talking about our personal current lives unless we are saying this is currently happening to me. We are not talking about your particular church. We are not talking about our particular church. And we know that your homegirl, sister, cousin had the same situation and it worked out well for her. And we love her, but we are not talking about her. We are speaking from our knowledge base, okay? And then let's run through the comments because we got
Mhm.
some people here and then we can bring them on, okay?
Okay, let's
Ready?
make it happen.
Yeah.
All right. It said, "What up? What up, Mr. Doc?" Mr. Dawkins says, "Milestone achieved. You can support I King Doc, the Queen 3 and King podcast, and BS3 Network by sending stars. They help us increase the revenue that allows us to support local charities, provide opportunities to new podcasters, and to continue to deliver the content you love. Just $1 helps, not dollar helps. I sincerely appreciate the support. Whenever you see the stars icon, you can send me stars. Stars, hashtag stars everywhere. Ben Sutter the third. All right. He says you can support BS3 Network by sending stars. Stars help us earn money to continue building the network. Thank you. And if you don't notice, Mr. Ben Sutter the third puts the BS3 in the BS3 Network. And then let me just go and put it out there. You see Mr. Dawkins and Mr. Ben Sutter the third. That's the dynamic duo right there that really create the totality of the BS3 network. Mika White says, howdy, good lady.
Hey.
Appreciate you being in the building. Mr. J. Gilliam said, welcome. We in here tonight. We in here. And Mr. J. Gilliam, that's that dope cooking show. Just connect the names.
My man, my
Let's
man,
do
my
that. Yeah, he said
man.
both my besties on the same screen. It's epic. There you go. Let it be known, Doc. Both. He said, look, he is not gonna cross that line. He gonna keep it neutral as all outdoors. Overton Claiborne said, good evening, great show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff Short, man. Hey, he
Oh,
in the
where's the
building. He said, what's
break?
going on,
Hey,
everybody?
Mr.
What's going
Short.
on? Yeah, he said he'd be back. He told us he would
He
be. Mr.
did.
J. Gilliam
He
said,
did.
Pastor Short, good evening. Yes. All right,
All
they having
right.
a
And then last
conversation.
one.
Facebook, you said,
Yep,
what up,
last
P?
one.
What up to you? I'm gonna have to find out who you are. I don't know who that is yet. And
All right. You
is that
ready to
all
bring
of
on the
the
guest?
comments right now?
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Yes, most important thing. So, hey, let me say this: really unquestionable. It's hard to talk about them. The first thing that comes to mind is dynamic, fun, and good people. That's good
Yeah.
people. They're gonna make you comfortable, almost too scary. If you go over there and you hang with them, you ain't gonna. If they want to put you in a sunken place, you can't deny it because you're gonna have too much of a good a time, and they're gonna make you relax, and you're gonna be like, I'm at home, and yeah, you're gonna be good as God. But luckily, they use their powers for good and not evil, and they're really wonderful people. If it was a they remind me like the Staple Sisters had a brother. This is who they would be. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah, they that family. Hey, these are very sharp individuals, knowledgeable people. And before we bring them on, I'm not going to introduce them individually. I'm going to introduce them as a group from their podcast, and then I really want the treat of them doing their introductions the way that they do them on their show. So I'm gonna let Mr. Doc kind of do his introduction of him and his cast. And so, nevertheless, here we are with Mr. King Doc.
What up? What up? What up?
Hey, hey,
I hope it ain't.
hey.
This is
Hi.
Hi, y'all.
relationship. I hope it
Yes,
ain't any pastors on here tonight because
they
I
might get
apologize.
their feelings hurt.
I
No, it's
apologize.
some on here. Now there's some on
I
here, but let me. But,
Keep
and I
it
want to
praying.
say this.
Keep praying.
So all of them to. So I'm gonna let Doc, if you would, do your introductions, and then after that, I'm gonna let them know who this group is.
I got you. All right, we're gonna start out north, just a little bit north of Van Augustine, almost in Oklahoma. She is known as the season queen. She's also known by Coco, Boney Maroney, Skinny Minnie, Darling Nikki, the grandma herself, the season queen. Say hello, queen.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to
That's
be
it.
on.
Yeah, she brought the
Hey,
dimples out tonight. See, she don't break the dimples out for our show every week,
No.
but this night she broke them out because she knows
Yeah,
she was. She had company. She was
I was on
high.
program tonight.
Yeah, and I can see 2 of the 3 edge controls are in place, so we in good shape.
Yes, sir.
So next we go to the educator queen. She's known as Meepa. TT. The educator queen. We're not going to talk about her ankle monitors or anything like that since we are visiting your program. Talk to the people, queen.
Good evening. I got an Easter speech ready, but I'll wait till the end of the show.
Oh my God.
Okay.
We have to ask her a question. It is mandatory. We have to ask her a question when we're visiting. How many boxes of wine are you in tonight?
How many does your mama have?
Oh,
Wow. Boom, boom, boom. Listen, it's going to be fun tonight.
All right. And last but not least, we have the queen, formerly known as Blake's mama. She is now firmly entrenched in the corner of Bronxy, also known as New York Red. This is Mama Lee, Lily, the baby queen. Talk to the people, queen.
Hello, everybody. So happy to be on with y'all tonight.
Let me just pop it.
Outstanding. And all of
Always,
these
baby.
individuals,
You
yeah,
gotta
and
let 'em
all of
know.
these individuals collectively are Queen 3 and King. Welcome to Perspective.
We're Wilma's kids. Yeah.
Yeah, we bring our own sound effects with us. Just
I
in
know.
case
I
you're-
see. Hey, man,
I
do your
love
thing, man.
just in
That's
case
all
your
right.
studio
That's all right.
ain't with it. We with it.
Yeah, that's all right. And I'm gonna calm down. Somebody just texted me and said, "Here, quit smiling so big." So I don't know what that was about.
Because
I'm like,
we were
wait.
here. Let me just say this. We were
Charlie.
hearing your introductions and stuff before we started. So I just got to say this about perspective, okay? I have produced, created, had the idea for 4 or 5 podcasts on the network, okay? And Perspective, and you two in particular, have taken it to another level. So again,
Yes.
credit that you give me, that you give Ben. I don't want none. Number one, we're gonna say to God be the glory, okay? All the glory, honor, and praise.
Okay.
amen.
I'm gonna tell you like this. See, I'm gonna tell you where I stand on religion versus spirituality just by this statement right here, right? It wasn't a good idea, it was a God idea.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
Eric, I want you to immediately get in the mode.
Hey.
You know, call me planning on being on the phone for 1 minute and it lasts an hour.
Yeah.
That's the mode we need to
Yeah.
get in so we can help somebody tonight.
Okay. Hey, man, you can't stop it when it's organic, and you know me, man. I'm gonna bring it like it comes. So we'll see
Y'all
what the
can be
most I
on here
got
for
in
an hour.
store.
I'm getting off at 9:30.
Be on here if you want to.
Let the people know, sis.
All right, baby, because
Yeah, and I'm
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
because this overtime, man. We don't usually work on Thursday evenings.
Yeah, it's
And that's
overtime.
true. They already into
Cash
it.
at
Yeah.
me. Eric and Ted, cash at me.
Yeah,
It's
but I
overtime.
Okay.
I am over the moon that y'all invited us. It has been it took too long. I'm
Please.
glad you did.
Yes, we are excited.
Yes, we're glad to be here.
All right. So we got we got some so as we get into that, let me just officially talk about the topic tonight, and just say what the title of it is. So what we'll be discussing in the conversation will be around Christianity versus spirituality. What's the beef? And we have special guest Queen 3 and King. So we're talking about Christianity versus spirituality. And so I know there's a lot of questions. Are there areas that they overlap? I don't want to get into what will be posed to the group to get the conversation going, but you know, there's a lot of controversy that goes along with it. If you just say what's up with Christianity, you'd have a forever conversation. You know what I mean? But now I'm trying to look at it with the spiritual aspect of it. And Doc will definitely has the questions and stuff that we're going to start out with. But definitely want to know, just right, like Doc said, I'm gonna tell you where I stand, and I was like, we still don't know where you stand based on that comment now, because it's going to get a little bit more complicated, especially if they keep talking to me. But I digress, and I compared y'all to the Staple Sisters, so people just got to have understanding about the family, and if they don't understand, that's family that's on here right now. These people know each other very
Yes.
in detail. You know what I mean? And so it'll be really interesting and a great conversation. So Doc, I kind of let you spearhead that.
Okay, look at me. Okay. So guys, we will start with our guest. The question is, can you define Christianity? Let's start with the baby queen. Can you define Christianity?
You want me to define it?
I do.
Well,
Okay.
just define it for yourself, I guess.
For yourself, like what does
we
it mean for you?
I think Christianity, I look at that more as a man-made religion. So when we talk about religion, I feel like that's a title that people put on just on their beliefs. It's something that was man-made. It doesn't define what your spirituality is. Spirituality, I look at that more as a relationship. So that's kind of how I decipher the two of them.
I love that. I love that. Okay, what about you, seasoned queen?
Well, I agree with Alicia. It is just that, and like she said, the spirituality is just this, your beliefs, no, not somebody else's belief, but your own belief, and that's it.
I like it. I like it. Educated queen.
I tried to get a little educated before I got on here tonight. Thank you, Lord. And I had a nice time doing that with getting home. It took me 2 hours and 7 minutes to get home, so I decided to look up a little something. So when I was looking at Christianity, it was defined. One of the definitions I kept seeing, it was consistent, was a follower of Christ. Simple, to the point. I follow Christ. That's what I do. Spiritual is more like, this is what I believe.
Right.
This is my spirit. Like, spirituality is what I believe. This is what I go by. It's almost like Alicia said, it's man-made. It's something that you just do because, spiritual can be defined in 10,000 different ways. So I did follow Christ and then what I believe. So two different things.
Love it. Love it. King, Doc. What's your answer?
Yeah, first of all, before I get that answer, Eric referred to these queens as staple sisters, and I'm going to do something I don't generally do on Queen, 3, and King, and I'm going to give them a compliment. See, a staple is something you got to have every day. Generally, it's referred to as a diet, and that's exactly what these queens are. They are a daily staple. You got to have them to get through your day. All right, so I'm going to leave.
He might want to borrow some.
You need some money?
Don't give compliments at the
Listen, he already gave y'all. Listen, y'all should just gratefully just take that and run
they
with
said
it.
nah. They said what
I normally don't do this.
I had the guns up. I was ready.
All right. Ready. So the educator queen hit exactly where I was going to hit, and that is Christianity, a follower of Christ. So she is exactly right there. And I'm just going to put it like this. Christianity is tradition. Spirituality is relationship.
Right.
So Christianity is the religion. Spirituality is the relationship. And the word says your tradition has caused my word to be of none effect. So too often we get too involved in the religion of it, the Christianity part of it, right? And we do not do enough of the relationship part of it. See, the relationship part of it is what you do when ain't nobody watching.
Right.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, because you can't. Listen,
I
almost went off.
Saturday.
Try to keep this under
not
control.
Just on Sundays.
Now go out. We ain't looking for no control.
No. We got it. We got to. Well, I got a doctor as a co-host. Got to have some order and structure around here. But now this is what I'm gonna do. Now I looked up the definition. And this is the thing. And me and Doc has talked about this. Because anything you read, because we can read things, we can listen to things. And I agree with you all. The most importantly, definitely with relationship being the key element of it. And I'll expound on that, because when you talk about, rituals, traditions, those practices, and Doc just hit the nail on the head, because I tell people, I'm not speaking to convince you. If you think I'm wrong, you go find information and you come prove me wrong. That's what you do, because I'm speaking from a place of knowledge, understanding, and most importantly, experience. I've laid in the floor, I've had snot running out my face and tears, and I've asked for clarification and revelation, and this is what it is, because I'm not just talking out the side of my neck here. But so with that being said, I think, and the word tells you that we've all been called to our own particular purpose, which it may not look like yours. It don't involve the same practices as yours. So when you try to treat Yah's relationship with each individual as a monolith, you are running off the tracks, so to speak. So, but I will, for those who are, and this is no shot at the educated queen, but those academics out there, they talk about Christianity typically refers to the belief in Jesus Christ. She hit the nail on the head, as a son of God, and adheres to the teachings of the Bible. While spirituality often encompasses broader, more individualized pursuit of connection with the divine or higher power. Which, and I think, Doc, you hit the name. I like because you still talk about God, but you listen, God and religion ain't. Y'all can try to tie it together much as you want to, but I think they get off the tracks. Would that be a correct statement?
Yeah, and I think you were talking to Doc when you said that, if I'm not mistaken, but she didn't pick that up. But anyway, let me just say this, Eric. What I got when you were talking,
go ahead,
is the fact that, see, religion.
No, I said Doc, but it sounded like Doc. My bad.
You're right on.
Yeah,
and
don't
so
you call Doc out. You speak. You just speak. You do what you need to do.
Check it out. Christianity. Now stay with me, because I know y'all all know. Christianity, milk. Spirituality, meat.
Oh, he didn't say something.
And I said that because I don't want them to think I don't know if y'all cuss on y'all show or not, but we cussing Christians.
No, I don't.
So let me say this.
I don't cuss.
We ain't shitting on Christianity. You understand what I'm saying? It may sound like that because we all push toward the spirituality. We ain't no shade on Christianity whatsoever, because you got to start there, right? That's your milk. That's your prosobic, your familiar, your Similac with iron.
That's where you got to grow. It's where you got to grow.
Hey, you got to crawl before you can walk, right? So that's what that is. That's your milk. And then spirituality is your meat.
I like that.
So I have a question. What do you think stops people? Like, why do they get so satisfied with the milk and they never try to get to the meat? Because I feel like a lot of people get stuck in church culture, or like, let's hang out at church. Let's be at the church. And no shade. No shade to the church.
No shade. No tea, no shade.
But no shade. But I feel like people get satisfied with the milk and they're not even looking for the meat.
Right.
You 100, Doc. And I know this might not, again, I'm going to try to shut up, but this is one of those topics that really hit home for me, okay? But I'm going to say this. The same reason why you see a 5-year-old still breastfeeding. Comfort.
It's easy.
It's comfort. It's easy. It's comfortable. It's familiar. It's, again, hey, to move into the meat territory, you got to move outside of your comfort zone. Okay? Everybody ain't ready for that. It's because it's comfortable. That's as simple as that. And guess what? They don't understand the comfort that will come when they start eating this meat. See, that's true. This other comfort, that comfort gonna make this comfort look like it ain't Nathan.
Yeah, it fills you up more too.
Yes, and Doc, they don't want to go through
the lasting effect.
You'll be able to sleep all night, baby.
Yeah.
Period.
Doc, I like to say it. I said they don't want to go through the pain that heals the real pain, because you're gonna have to. People they're gonna criticize, and then that's the irony for me is that in Christianity it's like, okay, obviously you ain't studied and really researched Jesus Christ who you following, because he was the outlier. What he was doing was not welcome, liked, or appreciated. Hence the following of the story. Y'all go read it for yourself. And I think that's what they need to do. And you'll see how it ended for him. And that's because he was walking and following instruction that he was given that was looking, feeling, and sounding different than what was being talked about or what was mainstream at that time and day. So when you see someone who is doing that, like if you a cussing Christian, or if you're eating on the Sabbath, like the disciples and Jesus was, it wasn't looked at no differently. But that's what he was doing. But you to find out if you where you stand, if you're looking at somebody because they cuss, or you're looking at somebody else because they're doing something that's outside of the traditions that you've been programmed to believe, and then you you're not judging, but you actually condemning, then you might know where you at.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
period.
With the word program, so you try to slide that programmed out there, and it should not be overlooked.
It should not be overlooked, he said.
It should not.
Doc, you got in there? Yeah. So on the definition, I think we clearly understand that Christianity. Doc, I think you said it perfectly. And all of the staples, they got it.
Well, Eric, I'm gonna say something real quick. You talk about the Sabbath, man. They can't even decide what the Sabbath is. And see, here's the thing: you too much time on worrying and concerning yourself about what that is. If you had a relationship, you'd know.
Right.
It really don't matter.
Oh, I like how he whispered it too, because that's how I felt it. I was like, it don't matter. And then
let's help the people. So the people that's on milk, how do we get them on meat? Let's help them. Y'all, how do they develop their relationship? What would you say? Like, what are some steps that they can take so that they're ready for the meat? They can get off this Similac.
Great question. I'm gonna go last.
Okay.
First, you have to find that balance. So once you get your, once you realize that you're a follower of Christ, then you start to build that relationship. That is when you can start to really become one of God's followers and really be able to teach somebody, because I think that's really what where people lack. It's so many people that, like you said, they go to church, they think one way, this is the way, I got to go to church, I got to do this, I got to do that, but they lack that balance. So I think finding that balance and surrounding yourself with people that know the balance is helpful in your walk.
I would say, if I can jump in, I would say a lot of times in relationships, even like getting to know, a man, if you're in a relationship with a man, or a female, if you're in a relationship with a female, is we lack one thing that could help springboard our relationship to another place, is communication. So we lack a lot of communication when we are trying to go from Christianity to spirituality. We make it so hard. We feel like we got to go to God talking in tongues and thank you, Lord, and passing out and all that stuff. Thank you. He doesn't require all that. He just wants communication. He wants to commune with you. He wants to have a relationship with you. He wants you to acknowledge him. Just like we want in our regular everyday relationships with our partners or our siblings or our parents. So he just wants to have communication with you. And I think we make it so hard. So communication is one thing I would say if we're going from one to the other.
Okay.
Because I talk to God like he my homeboy, y'all.
Yeah.
Look, bruh. Look,
this ignorant right here.
Look, I ain't even got to do all the extra. Let me get to it.
Yeah, don't try to play it.
Yeah.
No, you can't. Man, you can't.
Sure.
And you got to understand, he knows everything about you. All he's waiting on you to do is admit he knows. Okay, so what I would say, how to get them off of milk and them to meat, spend more time alone. Spend more time alone with him as opposed to with other. And I'm not saying to forsake other Christians. I'm just saying, if you want to transition from milk to meat, spend time alone and invite him to communicate with you. Invite him to tell you what he needs you to know. And I promise you'll start developing that relationship. And what'll happen is you'll have to start testing what you hear. Because early on, you're not going to believe what you hear. It's going to be hard to believe. You're going to be like, I thought he said go buy that guy lunch. But he know I ain't got but $10 on me. And if I buy his lunch, that means I got to stick to the dollar menu. Okay. You got to trust it. Okay. You got to trust the
Yep.
voice. Pretty soon what'll happen is you'll start to get a confidence in that voice, a faith in that voice. So it's trial and error, because sometimes you're going to get it wrong. Allow yourself the space to make a mistake.
Absolutely.
That's good. I'm gonna keep it practical because I want to help those people find their way. I'm gonna tell you. Behind me, you'll see 3 letters, TBR, and really they all hit the nail on the head. What they just talked about. And when you say you got to be alone, you got to go to your own sunken place, and then you're not going to listen, you're not going to hear, you're not going to understand until you are completely honest with yourself. Mika said, great communication, because you have to. Yah can talk to you in your own tongue.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
He can talk to you. So quit trying to talk like that person talk or pray like that person prays. Season Queen was saying, I just talk to him like he's my homeboy, and that is perfectly how it's supposed to go. He gonna talk to you so you understand, and that's gonna sound like inner talk, but that's what it is, because he that is in me. And what the words say, he that is in me. Okay, y'all go read the rest of it. You'll know what I mean. But until you live completely honest with yourself. No, I'm talking about I'm talking about real honesty with yourself and the Most High. Whatever that is for you. I take it out. I say, whatever that is for you. If it's a tree, what I like to quote Doc, she'd be like, what's between you and Brother Rock, or whatever it may be. So if it's Yah, Buddha, Hindu, Jesus, God, Yah, the sun, the moon, the stars, the universe, whatever it is for you, you let it be that. But what you need to do is be honest with yourself and whatever your higher power is, about who you are, what you are, where you are. With that in yourself. I mean, your good, your bad, and your ugly. Right. And identify and then own it. And listen, good fruit is good fruit. You'll know what's holding you back, what's not good for you, and what your gifts are and what's good for you. Then start cutting away the ugly. Let's start with that first. Hey, let's transition the bad, and then we'll take out what's good and make that great. And if you really take that avenue, then I'm gonna take it one step further. That may be confessing to yourself, really getting a mentor, getting a therapist, or as we saying, it may be stepping into a place where you're being spiritually fed to get some type of traction and footing. But until you do that, you're gonna miss the boat. And then who said balance? Alicia said you have to be balanced. See, you can't. Don't be so churchy, earthly good. I know y'all know that one. Everybody
yes, everybody know what I'm saying? They should anyway.
And then and those that are in Christianity, if you check it out, Jesus didn't run with them. You know what I'm saying? Well, people don't, go to the hospital. Sick people do. You know what I mean? Right. So you gotta, if you need to go somewhere where you're gonna get some healing, where you're gonna get what it is that you're needing. But you have to be balanced. You can't be so angry that you whoop everybody, but you can't be so passive you get run over and take advantage of all the damn time. You can't be so giving that you're being senseless and not being a good steward of your resources, but then you can't be so greedy that you don't give nobody nothing. You got to find that happy balance, and that'll come once you're honest with yourself, because now you're going to be in good communication with the higher source, and it's going to tell you, it's going to give you the understanding and the unction of what to do and when to do and how to go, because that's the problem. It's like being wise is understanding, one, you don't have it, and then being open enough to receive the guidance when it comes. And then the last thing is that you have to respect reality, which turns back and goes right back into being honest with yourself. Be realistic about what you can and can't do. Because when you know yourself, you'll be like, yep, can't do that. Oh, not strong enough for that. Oh, I'm gonna need some help for that. And once you get on that track, I'm gonna tell you, you will move from that milk to that meat.
That's very true.
Let me jump in and say this. I want to go back. Somebody said we was all agreeing. We talked to God like he's our homie. I think that is so important, because if you're trying to pray like the pastor or pray like the girl that be praying all hard and saying Father God 45 times, you're not being honest with what you need. In any relationship, we want, y'all know them people that be like, Father God, good morning. Father God, hello. Father God, we thank you. Like, and if that works for you, like, do that. but you have to be authentic in your language when you're speaking to
Yeah.
your higher power, so that
Yeah.
you can from the relationship. Because let's be honest, in a relationship, we want our needs met, and we all want something from God, Allah, Buddha, Brother Rock, whoever it is for you. But we all want something from God, right? Like whether that's peace, whether that's abundance, whether that's understanding, whether we want Him to heal our bodies, heal our minds. We want something, and if you're speaking to Him in a language that's not authentic to you, you can't even be honest about what you want. So I know for me, when I first was starting out, it was super intimidating because, like, oh, that ain't how I pray. I pray regular, like I pray like a conversation. But I think that's important. I think that grows the relationship.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, you want to do the comments real quick?
Yeah, let's do that. Facebook use says some people use Christianity as a retirement plan. They act a whole fool most of their life, get into the sunset years, then it's thus saith the Lord.
Thus saith the Lord.
Thus saith the Lord.
Keisha says, good evening, y'all.
Hey, Keisha.
Hey.
Facebook says, I think you can maintain your spirituality lifelong, in your youth and as you age. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the relationship grows as you grow.
And Ben says, good evening, family. Good evening.
Good evening, Ben.
Indeed. I think a point that doesn't come up is, what are the conflicts? Because we kind of went into definition, but when we really talk about what are the things that cause controversy between the two, what would you say are the things that cause the most controversy between Christianity and spirituality?
As anybody?
Yeah. We're gonna start with we'll start with the seasoned queen.
Well, I think that some people, they think that they know that they don't have to go take this walk alone. They feel like they don't have to, that they have to take it alone. And so I feel like they basically just they need some guidance and direction. Because when I was starting out, it was the same thing. God, I didn't know how to actually know the difference in the two in the beginning. So you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's why I think that people need to have mentors when they're first starting out in Christianity. Somebody that they can call on to lead them in the right direction.
Love it.
Okay. Alicia?
Anybody? Oh, okay. I didn't know where it was going. Okay. I'm like, wait, like who? I always say some of the conflict is we try to put them against each other when they go hand in hand. So I think you first have to have like we talked about, the foundation before you can build that relationship. So I think that's really one of the most conflicting things is you hear it's just like the title you have, Christianity versus spirituality, when they really go hand in hand.
That's good.
That's real good.
That's good.
Because most people don't see it that way.
Plus two.
Bye.
Mika B.
What puts the most conflict, to put it simply, us, people. We have to put our hand in it, have to put our hand on it, have to say, this is the right way, this is the wrong way, which confuses a lot of people who are trying to decipher what's right and what's wrong. So it's us.
I love that. And that's what perspective is about. We definitely want to increase the thought of, man, just because it differs doesn't make it right or wrong. It's simply different.
Right.
It's just different.
Now let's talk a little bit, and you will discover the similarities, and we most times we find out we have more in common than we do.
That's right.
Different.
So true.
We headed to the same place, and you mad because they took this route and they went that right, but y'all trying to get to the same place. Calm down.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good, Mika B. Dog, come with it.
Yeah. couple of things for me. Understanding is number one. See, the word says lean not to your own understanding, and in all your getting, get an understanding. Okay, so you can't count on yours, and you got to get it from where it needs to come from, right? So what's the conflict? It is weakness. So it's kind of what Mika said, right? Is she says us. We in most things in life, when we don't achieve what it is we're trying to achieve, if we don't obtain what we're trying to obtain, if we don't accomplish what we're trying to accomplish, most of the time we got in the way. Okay.
Oh,
And so
a whole lot of the time.
weaknesses, right? So our weaknesses are to attract others, right? Birds of a feather flock together. Okay, what they say, right? So our weaknesses, but we have a tendency to run from our weaknesses. You shouldn't run from your weakness. You got to embrace it. Okay, you can't be afraid of it. You can't try to hide it. When God asked a man, "Show me your hand," He didn't show him the good hand. He showed him the other hand.
Right.
What I'm gonna show you that's good hand for? It's good. Okay. So you got to be willing to show your hand, show your weakness. It's designed. You were given it for a reason. You were given it to be tracked so y'all can heal together. Okay. Don't run from your weaknesses and concentrate on your strengths.
I like it. I like it. Doc, what you got? You got something on that, Doc?
Yeah, I agree with everything that they have already said. But I think it's more so understanding. I think people see them as so separate. And I think it's because when they go to people who are supposed to be more spiritual or supposed to be more Christian, they don't always have the right answers. And so I think that's why we see them as so separate, because you don't know who to get that understanding from. So I agree with everything everybody said. You need a mentor.
Absolutely.
Because you go and you're like, hey, can I have crystals and pray? And they like, no, don't have crystals. And you're like, why? And they like, oh, I don't know.
See, we were going to try to keep this fair. So whenever you figure out, when we go back and look at the show and figure out where it went left, it's on Doc. Because she said, go to the people who's supposed to know. And see, here's the deal. I'm going to tell you like this. Check this out. Christianity pays. Spirituality.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey.
Christianity.
No,
get a little bit more in. Hello? In them offering plates. If I tell you about the relationship and okay, I ain't say that.
You mean
and
control?
I think my BFF said it here. He says everyone doesn't believe his grandmama did. Because guess what? As we get more enlightened and as we grow and as we become more spiritual, we realize where the holes were. And I said holes, not hoes. We realize where the holes were.
Boy, we know what you said the first time.
HOLES.
He just wanted to say that.
He just wanted to say it.
Yeah, he just wanted to say it
so bad.
Well, we heard that. L, get out of here.
Listen.
Dummy.
But no, everybody's in my opinion, the nail, the hammerhead is hitting the head of the nail.
I know I did. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna let y'all fight. Y'all gonna get it done. But no, like Doc, when you talked about what Mika said, people, we make it a problem. But that's why I tell. Doc said earlier, you're gonna get from the milk to the meat when you get by yourself. And what I mean is, you need to study and show yourself approved. Don't go ask somebody. Go search and find out. And I'm talking about search within your heart. If you see good results, you are more disciplined. You're able to achieve things. You're staying more centered. You see an improvement in your spiritual life, in your physical life, in your financial life, because you have incorporated, hey man, these crystals seem to keep me focused, or it puts me on the right track, and you are producing good fruit, then the answer is hell yeah, you can pray and have a crystal with you. Can't nobody else tell you. Now, if the Most High if something come out the sky and tell you, hey, you can't do that, then okay.
Especially
when you go ahead, Doc. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody tell me anything in that voice, I'm gonna sit down.
Well, there you have it. Now, but I'm just saying, look at the fruit. Yah said you judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. That's how I know what's working, what he accepts, what he allows, what's good, what's not. You know what good fruit is.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what's going on around you. Are you growing? Are you expanding? The things switched up? Is the green's greener, the yellow's yellower? You know you're on the right track, then yeah, you good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got it's a thing called revelation. It ain't
Yes.
for everybody else.
Yeah.
Your walk ain't like everybody walk.
No.
And if anybody
Amen.
come and talk to you like they got all of it figured out, they don't.
They show don't.
I'm
wanna
leery
touch
of somebody like that.
I want to read this comment. Some conflict comes from old versus new. And I agree with this.
Yes.
Because I
Mhm.
feel like, no shade
Okay, yeah.
to the Bible. It's a wonderful book, but I don't live in those times. So I don't
Right.
know that you can hold me to that standard. I need like a 2024 version of what this is. So I agree with this comment for real. We have this conversation at my house quite often because old versus new. Y'all want to talk about that?
And
The one word that I get when I read that was tradition.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
you want me to do too much.
Yeah, and I also I think I was thinking about it in the terms of like the older generation versus the newer generation. We church different. So that's hard to understand. And it's hard to come into those older churches and you want to do newer traditions and they side eye you like, no, we ain't changing this up. This is how we've done it since, forever. So yeah, that's kind of where my
1942.
Yeah.
What's the resolve for that? Like, do we give and like do older church or do they give? And like, is there a middle age church? Like, like is there like a center lane?
Not a middle age
millennial church.
What are we supposed to do?
I about to say a millennial church. We middle age now, millennials.
Yeah. I don't know.
Middle age.
I think that's why you see so many. And I'm speaking for myself. I think that's why I've kind of been in the struggle, like of finding a church that I'm just like, this is my church, because it's that struggle of I'm not seeing exactly what I want to see in a church. Like I like this aspect. If I could take like things from about 5 different churches, I can create the perfect church. But it's that struggle of some churches are just set in their ways, so it's hard to kind of get in there and try to do what you envision it to be. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Right there
and that's the thing. You have to find I think Doc mentioned that, like birds of a feather flock together, and that's kind of how those things get created. So, but first of all, the most important thing is being clear on where your relationship with the Most High is, what your values are, how they will be expressed, how that's going to impact you, those around you, and the world outside of you. Yeah, how is that impacting that? And those that are like that, I think you live that out, and then it will gravitate to you. I would say this. I don't know what I think the world is King Doc's church. He churches every day, just in the way that he lives. Everything he gets into, he gonna find a way to put a little church in it. His giving, his sharing, he's gonna impart some type of knowledge, whether the person wants it or not. He's going to make them laugh, which I think is a ministry in its own damn self, and he's going to keep it 100% funky and honest. And to me, that is real ministry. And so when you talk about I haven't found a church, like sometimes your church is just going the church is the people. Yeah, it's the people. It's you, who you impacting and what you doing. Got nothing to do with a building, a roof, nothing. Now is because now let me don't say that, because I'll go to, now it's only one building I'll go to, because a long time ago I was like, I couldn't go. I'd be in there cringing because I hear what I'm like, that is not what that's said. These people is confused, man. And I'm serious. I was just called to walk a different way. You know what I mean? Like I relish the word. I eat it up, but I apply my butter on the other side of the bread, I guess. You know what I mean? And I ain't got to explain it to nobody else. It's between me and the Most High. He set me like TBR is my life philosophy. That is not my religion. That is my It is how I moniker and speak my relationship with the Most High. He gave me the 3 P's y'all see up there, and FAFBIM. All of it come out of the word. It come out of my foundation of when I was going every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and opening it up and painting the walls and being the praise team and on the choir. Yeah, me. I was up there singing, and I don't sing. I mean, but I can carry the tune. Don't get me wrong. We was in there praising, you know what I'm talking about. But and being a minister in training and giving exhortation, which I think is my gift. And so I use it, and now I'm telling my own personal story to see how do you get to that place. I was like, say, man, this what's going on is trash. I say, this ain't cool. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm going here. I follow these precepts. I ain't doing this. And as clear as day, it was like, that ain't. And it said, ain't. God said, ain't what I told you to do. That ain't what I told you to do. It was that cool. It was because that's how I would have said, that ain't what I told you to do. Oh, yeah. Hey, man, you got to live in truth. You got to operate in balance. You got to respect reality. And you need to quit. You need to get some in that balance. That's what I got to start making decisions that put me and mine in a position of power, prosperity, and protection, so that I can have peace. Because when you have peace, then you can go out and fulfill the purpose I got set for you. Okay, so I need you to get that done. And man, I give you favor, and I'm saying, favor ain't fair, but it's mine. That's what that's there for. And I speak it. It's like, now this goes into the spiritual part. That's my prayer, and that's my affirmation every day. Favor ain't fair, but it's mine. I don't pray for strength. I don't pray for money. I don't pray for none of that. I used to pray for favor. That's all I pray for now. I used to say wisdom, but you got to go through. Almost let one slip. You got to go through.
Gone. It's appropriate.
Yeah, you got. Because it ain't stuff. You got to go through shit to get wisdom.
I mean,
I said it. You got to. Like that. I'm talking about. You got to get in some low, like where you question, like, how the hell I get here, and I don't see no way out, and the Most High will say, okay, here's some favor, and things will move. And once you do that, you become strengthened, and can't nobody knock you off your square, is what I call it. And I remember praying, asking for something, and was giving it, and it knocked me. I was off my square for a minute. I was like, can't nothing move me off of it now. I promise you. I'll sit butt naked, broke under the tree. And it was me and the Most High, we good. I'm right there. I'm a king, you know what I'm talking about, in that position. But he'll never allow that to happen to me. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox right now. But that is definitely a way that we get to to get from the milk to the meat. And I think it's a process to eliminate the conflict, because it has to come within you, man. Be clear on who you are, what you want, and then you'll find your, I don't want to say find your flock, but you will be okay.
Yeah, one of the things that he said, and Lily said it best when she said, if I could pick this from this church and this from this church and this from this church, what she's describing is outfitting herself as a Christian. Some may refer to it as putting on the whole armor of God, right? Okay, how often in your natural life do you wear an outfit that you got all from the same place? It didn't all come from Old Navy. Right. You might have an Old Navy top and a Fashion Nova bottom and a Kate Spade shoes, or whatever the case may be, right? So sometimes you have to go get it from Vera Wang. Okay, you got to go some other places, right? We all have tanks that need to be filled, right? And those spiritual tanks, no different, right? Some things you're gonna get from me. Some things you're gonna get from Brandon. Some things you're gonna get from church. Some things you're gonna get from Ganny. If you feel me, So if your perspective is right, as a Christian, if your perspective is right, you're seeing and hearing spiritually, you'll get other places and be comfortable with that.
And you will know what's good food, and you will know what's not. You know what I mean?
Cafeteria mentality: pick, choose, and refuse.
Talk about it. Mr. Jeff Short says, I hear quotes from the Bible, Christianity, to make points, but I'm not hearing quotes from spirituality.
Ooh, I want that one.
Go ahead,
okay,
Doc.
get it.
I mean, a dog. Okay, go ahead.
That one.
Go ahead, dog.
Because again, Christianity is written down. Spirituality isn't.
Different.
We're not spirituality. It's you're gonna develop. See, your spirituality book is gonna be different than mine.
From mine.
Because I was built differently I was given different gifts. I was given a different purpose. So we're not going to quote it. I'm not going to, what I quote from my book of spirituality is going to be different from yours. Christianity can be quoted because it's written down.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
No, ain't nothing to be said.
Yeah.
Mr. JD said,
10 minus 2.
Hey, wisdom.
Eight.
Hey,
No
hey,
proof.
wisdom teaches you to be silent. You know what I'm saying? It says be
It
silent.
does.
But
I
that's in Proverbs. That's in Proverbs, one of my favorite books. Matter of fact, and that's I'm gonna have to say this. And from a technical standpoint, if you want to get from milk to meat, then start there. If you gonna read.
for real. And Ecclesiastes. No.
Mhm.
Them two together, Proverbs and
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes. That's, hey, come on, man, you can't go wrong. And apply.
Yeah.
It's a very
Yeah.
applicable today. Anyway, Mr. J. Gilliard says most middle-aged people are that way now, and we have been browbeaten to do what the old church did. We have a conflict, and there is no guidance to navigate that.
Heavy on no guidance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As a preacher's kid, I still
BK.
cringe at things that are not done like they were at First Baptist.
Okay.
And they had their own conversation. Here we go.
And he said a lot of my conflict is traditional
Mhm.
upbringing.
Yeah.
Traditional programming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Tradition
can
allows my word to be of none effect. That's what it said.
Because we feel like our church service need to go a certain way. We need to do this, we need to do that. We need to be in church at least 2 hours, or you're not saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. We need to do this. We need to give an offering at this time. It's just tradition.
What's
And
wrong?
then you got to come back at 3:30.
One devotional song
Yeah.
this Sunday. What's
Right.
Say.
And if we go outside
God,
that tradition,
Jehovah.
that means we don't love God. We're not a Christian anymore. Like, what? How does that go?
Sacred Jehovah,
Mm.
Man.
here come through this barren land.
I ain't heard that song in a long time.
Come on.
over? My
I
favorite.
didn't finish that song. Y'all don't love God?
You
I
can't
know,
tell. You can't look at me, but my favorite part is bread of heaven, feed me till I want no more.
And they just sing it over and over.
He said, "Feed me till I want." Say, man, y'all, listen. I'm sitting in the pew right now watching. I'm watching.
I mean, you get a
Watching
whole
Deacon.
visual,
I ain't gonna
don't
say his
you?
name. I'm watching Deacon right now with that foot, and he used to have a foot that would be shaking while he was doing it. And I just be sitting there
You
like,
see the
man,
whole visual.
Come on.
man, y'all have no idea, man. I was up in that place, man. All the
So
time.
were we.
Oh, we were
Man.
too.
Yeah.
Were we?
Yeah, and I'm not knocking. I'm not.
No.
Man, it like
Right.
lessons and great foundation. Great,
Amen.
great. I would say, circle with protection. Even in
Yeah.
like decisions I made, things I'm like, man, if I would have, it gave me enough where I was like, I ain't crossing that line. I can't. I had it, but I had too much of the word was in me. It wasn't like they had a control. It was like I read and understood for myself and knew that wasn't the direction I wanted to go. But at the same time, it'll push you away the way that they operate. And when they do that, okay, you're not dressing like they think you ought to dress. You're not following certain traditions. That'll push people away more than it'll bring them closer. You know what I'm saying? But maybe that's what's necessary, because you got to go out and get your own relationship with the Most High. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because his ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are not our thoughts. They're much higher than ours, than like the heavens are above the earth. So, so that's why I say all that trying to figure it out, you got to go with it. And Doc said the most important thing, you have to ask, and it'll be given unto you. Ask for understanding. But go read Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, and that'll be a good start. And then y'all can call Doc. He'll straighten all the rest of it out. Mr. Jeff Short said, to the panel, I'm here to listen and understand, not to battle you guys. No, you good with me. You good with me, Jeff. No. I thought that was a great question. I'm glad you need to pose it.
Discourse is good. That doesn't
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I promise it is
It's
going to be
healthy.
nothing but love.
Yeah.
It's nothing but
Absolutely.
love.
We're
Every
not
Nothing
time.
but love.
Please come
Yeah,
back next
all
week.
the time. Yeah, absolutely. And you hit me up on my message. I can't. I'm about to bake it. I see. I got too crunk. I was about to do something. Like I do. I'll go to a church, but it's only one church I'll go to right now. Faithful Missionary Baptist Church over there on Blue Bonnet. That's the only one I go to because I've the newly appointed pastor there. I've known him since he was 19. We played together in college, and I've watched his walk. Like I got to sit there and watch. I've seen temptation. I watched his 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness. I'm serious. I did. I got to see. I was like first time I met him, I walked up because he was, ordained minister and all of that. I went to his room. I said, and they wrote a big article about him and he said he came to the school because God told him to. He said, we will win this and we will. I was like, okay. I said, say, man, are you for real? Or are you playing? No, I'm for real. Okay. So I watched him for years. So when Doc talked and the integrity is there, I've seen him be able to break. I'm like, I'd have broke on that one, bro. I'd have broke. Never broke. So in honor of that and his relationship with the Most High, I'll go sit.
Yeah.
I'll go sit and support. That's the thing that get me in there.
I go to Great Assertive Mattress, Pastor IB Sleep.
But seriously though, I have to go to church every Sunday. It's just in me to go because I feel better going and being in the house of the Lord. Just so I can, but just the atmosphere of people just praising and giving God glory and things of that nature, and people coming to God
Season Queen
that haven't never been saved before.
Season
So
Queen,
that's my thing. I don't like to miss church.
I love that.
Is it producing
I don't like
good
to
fruit?
miss.
Is it producing good fruit in your life spiritually or in some other way? Then boom, there it is.
Yep.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
I like it. It.
Okay, let's get final thoughts. We will start with the baby queen, Miss Alicia. What are your final thoughts?
This was so good. Thank you guys for having us. I think just to sum it up, start with your foundation. And as you build your foundation and as you really start your walk with Christ, that relationship is going to fall into place. You just have to do the work. So let's stop putting it against each other. Christianity versus spirituality. It goes, like I said, it goes hand in hand. So let's just remember that.
I love that. Nicole, did you want to say something else?
No.
Okay.
But thank you guys for having us here. It was a blast.
Thank you for coming. Mika.
Hey now, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey.
It was a fun show. I'm glad y'all invited us on. We can't wait to come back and for y'all to come on our show. And just a quick summary, it's all about communication with me. When we're speaking about Christianity versus spirituality, it's about what how you communicate with your God and how you want your walk to go. So I say stop trying to be like everybody else and make it about you and your relationship.
I agree with that. King Doc, what you got?
Yeah, I'll just tie it back into what I said earlier, and that's a long time. Okay, and I'm gonna give you an example of what propelled my relationship and my spirituality, and that is the very first time that God gave me something different on a scripture that I've heard hundreds of times in church, but He broke it down for me differently. I then understood study to show yourself approved. So that's why I say some alone time. If you don't spend no alone time with it, I promise you, the first time He break it down for you different and show you something you ain't heard before and how He wants you to understand it, it'll change. So alone time is what it is. And this topic, Christianity versus spirituality, has so much meat on its bone And Pastor Short, I promise you, man, it is the conversation that is needed. Conversation. Eric does a great job every show before he starts, and he talks about the differences. He talks about, we may not see it exactly the same, but I promise you, that's where the beauty is. That's where the power is, where you cannot see it the same, but still be of a mindset that you're still trying to get to the same place.
Hence the name perspective.
Indeed.
All right now.
My final thoughts. Thank you guys so much for being here. Get off that milk. Get you some meat in your life because it is more sustaining. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a whole nother friend about perspective. We would love to have you here. Watch the replay, tell your homegirl, all the things. And we are so thankful that Queen 3 and King came to hang out with us tonight. We are so glad that y'all are here.
Thank y'all for having us.
Hey, and if they want to go watch your show, what day and what time do they go watch your show?
I don't know. Look.
You can tune in
watch us Tuesday.
on Tuesdays at 7 p.m.
Thank you. Central Standard Time, baby.
Put my BFF comment up there about Mika, right quick. So everybody not bottles. It's not bottles, Chef. It's boxes.
He said not bottles, it's boxes, is what I've heard.
No, I don't have boxes.
Tried to slide past that for you, sis. So bad.
No, I never had boxes anymore. I haven't had it since 2010. Bottles, yeah.
These folks don't think Mika is the drunk educator.
Thank you.
Okay?
You don't know if my husband watching. I am saved, sanctified, and filled with them.
My sister is not a drunk.
Thank you. Now you put crown in my face. Now go ahead.
Look, see, look, we had they had y'all.
See that
covered.
balance? That's that balance we're talking
about. Yeah. No, I just I said a lot, but I just wish everyone would lead with an open mind and understanding. Just because you listen to someone and listen to understand does not mean you're moving off of your point of position, because ultimately everyone is responsible for their own soul's salvation, right? And if it's your calling to call someone else, call them with your example. So be kind, be nice, be loving, really follow the precepts of Jesus Christ if you're in Christianity. And if someone is spiritual, allow them to be that. And if you think the Most High is all that he says he is, and he's omnipotent, if you think that he doesn't have a hand in that, and he doesn't, and he's not imparting in them, and he has no part of spirituality, then you really need to reevaluate what you're doing. And I'll say that. And lead, start in the middle and at the end with love, and you'll fall in the right place. With that being said, I want to thank Queen 3 and King for visiting Perspective. Man, y'all are outstanding to me. I watch your show. I try to participate as often as I can, man, because you're always informative. You're always entertaining. And y'all really do personify what it calls edutainment. Y'all really do that. So I would encourage all of the viewers, anyone this comes to their eyes or ears, to definitely go check out their program Tuesdays at 7:00.
Please.
Jeff Short says, indeed. Appreciate you, Pastor Jeff.
Yeah.
And
thank y'all for having us.
Support and appreciate him. Yes, absolutely. So, hey, everybody have a wonderful evening. Thank you all. Do all the things that Doc said about the social media, sharing, liking. It really matters. It makes a big difference for us. And we'll see you all next week. At what time and what day? Thursday.
Bye, family.
On Perspective. Bye-bye.